Hello, hello. We got a recap to do, boys. Let's go. This time in dark mode, because even I can't take light mode after just getting out of bed. But yeah, so let's take a look at some results. We got Hoglass taking a 1-0 over Noobster. This was the late game, I'm pretty sure this was the last minute match. And the Undead beat the Necro, which is quite well done to the Undead until you look at the teams and realise just how outguarded this poor Necro team were, and they even lost a Mighty Blow Werewolf just as a real kick in the teeth. So yeah, Noobster's probably going to feel pretty annoyed at Blood Bowl right now because he's like, well, that team had more strength than me, had more guard than me. I only had about 100 team value to play with. I had 60 team value to play with. You know, what could I have done? And the answer, of course, is not much. Undead at this team value are just disgusting. They're like so efficient and very difficult to beat as Necro or Nurgle or any strength team. It's really hard to beat these guys at this level. But yeah, losing the Mighty Blow Wolf is a real dagger. I think it was Sextus the Bone Collector, was it not? Maybe a Sextus the Bone Collector foul. I want to say. Might have been what happened. Either that or they tripped and died. But yeah, apart from that, no SPP. An interception for Marunora. That's a shame. Shows how desperate the Necro were guessing, having to throw passes. But a tough one to take. At least we got a white MVP, so it's not all tears, but yeah, nasty one for Noobster, I feel for you. Well played, Oculus, though. I take a 2-0 over Pyro TJ, and I need to show you. I think he might have been a little bit annoyed at the dice. Like, he went for in my opinion, a crazy Agi 5 sack with a leap on like turn 2 of my drive when I still had, you know, like a really good screen up. Yes, they could have gotten a 1, they had a 1 die on the ball, but like, they didn't have much after that, if that makes any sense. But they snaked it, and then I KO'd them on the foul, and then set the tone for the match, really. Everything seemed to work. That's not Discord. Let's just check there. Yeah, we are still recording. Okay, good. Where are we going? Rebel. Tier 4. Yeah, here we go, look. This sums up the game pretty well, I think. And the thing is, it gets to the point, like, I always do this when I play against coaches that like are complaining about dice in chat, is I will just start playing worse. I will deliberately, like, you know, I'll leave plays on for them to try, because I know that if those plays fail, then I'm guaranteed to win, because I'll just be on tilt. So that's what I did, and it kind of worked. Like, I left a hit on my ball carrier on like turn 7, still scored anyway, and I think from that point on, I was basically living in his head rent free. At least in my opinion. I'm sure Pyro disagrees. But yeah, 2-0 for me. Nice one to take. So yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Right. Anything cool SVP wise? I got a good spread. I got 2 on the Scarred guy. All the Pestigals did a little bit. And now I have a money dilemma. I don't know what I'm going to take for my next game. I could take a Rotter, I could take another Goat, I could take a couple of Rotters. We'll see how I'm feeling when I turn up. I got a kill, so I finally killed somebody and get Bjork the Rotter after the game. A big MNG on the movement 10 1-turner, and apart from that, no permanent damage. So yeah, Pyro taking an L there is what it is. And next up we have a really nice 2-2 for Bloodsplat. I think they'll take this quite handily. They took Glart, and loads of loners here, no other star players. Glart got himself injured and did nothing. But yeah, a dead flesh golem is the tail of the tape, I think, especially because it wasn't from Glart. It might have been from this Guard first blitz. It turns out Guard is the hidden Mighty Blow, and Guillaume the Haunter has passed away. But this guy has his Mighty Blow will stay alive and get a little bit closer to what I think will be tackle, maybe piling on if they get another double. Oh, another zombie MVP there, they won't be happy with that. But yeah, 2-2, well played for the Rats. I assume taking wizards and babes this time and loners and fun stuff as opposed to the Blarp Morg wombo combo. So yeah, good result, and it just goes to show that low team value Skaven are dangerous. Like, if we take a look at Rel right now, the leading team is Skaven that are 1320. You know, okay, like 5 good rats can win you Super Bowls. So don't count these guys out, is what I'm trying to say. Next up, we have the result of the week. We have Mr. Agorki, I don't know if I'm saying that right by the way, taking Morg Zara and just putting the style on. Both trees rocking up, big time plays, Kaz all day, lineman dead, lineman Agi busted, Niggle tree. Just you love to see all of it, don't you, really? I mean, there's only 2 Kaz here for the Woodies. On a couple of useless things. I mean, the badly hurt one did get Kaz, which the catch one did get Kaz, which kind of hurts for them, I think. But it looks like they were just going to carry on Zara, which is a fine call. Obviously, 2 strip ball not getting the job done for Octo Chicken, and then Mr. Gorky taking advantage and claiming a big 1-1. I think this is going to be one of the highlights of the season for this Helfling team. I mean, look at this. This is the best team in the division. He hold it to 1-1 with stunties. Insane. Insane. Let's see here. We the Elves now. 31 blocks into 20 breaks. Good sign. Shows that the momentum was going. 6 KOs, 4 Kaz in 19 breaks is probably fair when you're hitting with Mighty Blow a lot of that time. But yeah, big day for the big guys, getting out the loners and the rookies. And then the skilled players just couldn't get the job done. So yeah, well done, Mr. Oguriki. My favourite coach and favourite team in the division. Until I play them. Next up we have Bets, and I called this. I backed Bets to take a big comeback win. They needed it. And they've responded by really pitch clearing the hell out of these elves. Jesus. Yikes, is all I have to say to this one. So yeah, 200,000 inducements. I'm assuming wizard and extras. 3 touchdowns for the diving catcher. You love to see it. That's a level catcher as well. Levels here. Induced tackle. I like to see it. Did work. No Kaz, but probably was a nuisance. We've got 4 Kaz on the killer, doing a good shift. Just you love to see it, don't you? Humans coming back, taking a win. Elves struggling. 27 blocks into... No, 46 blocks. So the Dark Elves trying to get fancy here. We're thinking, well, you know, these humans aren't very good. We can get into a fight. There's just too much tackle, I think. Giving up 46 blocks, and if they have Mighty Blow tackle, giving up 46 blocks is a terrible idea as Elves. And they get absolutely bodied. So well played to Bet. Zalathea having to go back to the drawing board after that one. Huge L. And next up we've got Super calmly moving into the playoff places with a 1-0 win over these Orcs. And I think this might just be a case of high TV Vamps doing high TV Vamp things. I mean, who's going to stop this Agi 6, Agi 5 monstrosity from just ruining your day? You know, not this guy. That's for sure. But yeah, we've got a pass. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to start on like that, but we got a Kaz on the strength 5. There we go, getting stuff done. A couple of Thrall death kind of hurts because this is the team that's in spiraling expenses, right? You have to consider that. So all of these casualties and deaths are difficult to replace when you're in spiraling expenses. A win helps, and more importantly, we get a level on this vamp, so that's good. Loads of FTP, MVP, TD. Getting this guy back up to Blodge would be really useful. Yeah, an exciting match. I'm sure the Vamps vamped their way to victory. They got Agi 6, so feel confident in that one. Well played to Supra. Finally, yeah, we've got Nicholas taking an admin win, so that is that for the games. Let's take a look at some teams. Right, okay. So we've got a skeleton level here for Hoglass. Let's see what they take. There's just loads. There we go. No? Yeah. There we go. They take an extra dirty player. You'll have to see it. Man, as much as I love Maple Tree Way, it's just a little bit loud. Right. Oh yeah, credit to Shadow at Noon, by the way, for all the music. If you ever have to live stream and you want copy strike free music, they've got like 20 playlists full of really good Nintendo music. So hit them up, and also drop them a follow on Twitch and stuff, like, because they're putting in the Lord's work here for the live streaming community. Anyway, that's a shout out over. But yeah, so DP on the boy. Still got the same setup. Obviously the energy kind of hurts. Let's see if Necro insta replaced, whether they just rage quit. Looks like they just rage quit. They don't have the cash actually. Sorry, I take that back. So yeah, just a really sad Necro team now. At least Wilhelm Cheney's going to get induced. So every cloud. I see some Ram Tip. Who knows? Next up, my guys and the Elf guys. I don't think I got any levels, and I haven't changed the team, so this is the teams that you'll see. I'll just see if they've hired a positional back. Don't think they will have. No, they've just sort of chilled out a bit. 50k, not much to do. Next up, let's look at the Rats versus Forteso. No levels and a level on the gutter. Let's see what they take, and they might have bought up, so it's always good to check this Rat team. Oh my god, they took Big Hand, guys. They took Big Hand. Actually, the more I look at it, the more it's not abjectly terrible. Like, I can see what you're trying to do, if that makes any sense. Ignores modifiers. So that's your retrieval, right? But I always think that the mutations in Skaven are just like the optional extras. Like, this is a double. This could have been guard. Oh god, dude, you really missed up here. I forgot this is a double. This is a huge mistake. This is a season-defining mistake. You had strength skills to choose from. You had like... I think Big Hand's probably one of the better mutations, but you've already got an extra arms thrower. I guess that's your passer. Like, this could have been guard. What are you doing? It's movement 9, agi 4 guard. How can you turn that down? I don't understand. I'm clearly the lesser coach here because I'm struggling. I'm struggling to see how Big Hand is better than guard, but I'm sure I'm about to get bodied by these rats in which it's raining, they sack the ball, or they wizard me, and the ball's in like 3 tackle zones, but they just run the Big Hand in and absolutely dominate me. But until that happens, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be really sad. That should have been guard most of the time, probably all of the time actually. Not even most of the time. I'm putting my, you know, talking head pundit hat on and saying that is a bad decision. Don't mean it, of course. I'm just doing it for the drama, as all pundits are always doing. Next up, we've got the Elf game, and let's take a look at this Halfling roster, this MVP Halfling roster, and we find this guy's on 4 of 6. Exciting. We've got a few 5 of 6 flings. This team's about to pop off in a major way. Watch out, guys. This team's going huge. Gotta believe it to see it. Meanwhile, we get a lineman level for Octo Chicken, and they take, what's that, guard? Oh god, no, wrestle. It's not guard, it's just wrestle. But they're a bit beat up. Yeah, 2 niggles. They got 2 MMGs, including the tree, so that's useful for my guys. The stand firm is not fun. You know, just having stand firm with strength 6. I have to put 3 players there, right? Which means that I can't protect the ball with 3 players, which is just nasty. Whereas now there's no tree, I can use all 11 players to protect the ball from this double strip ball threat, so it gives me a chance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rostered for 1590. So I'll take this. This is a really good time for me to play these elves. I don't think I could have asked for a better one, so hopefully I can do something. Next, it is... Oh, let's take a look at bets in Alathea. They got some levels. This is the development game right here. Let's check the elves first. They got a level on this Blitzer. See what they're doing. Was that Mighty Blow? It is. Nice. I do like a Mighty Blow. Just one. And a lot of people like to say, oh, you should take guard first on your blitzers, but like, you know, guard is the second double. The first double should always be Mighty Blow. And you know, he even followed the advice and took guard first before dodge on this guy. So now we've got a bit of Mighty Blow, we can start to win the elf. It really helps the elf mirror, just having that, especially when they don't. It's like a checkmate scenario. It's like, well, I can afford to play elf screens and then just punch someone every turn. And in 16 turns, I will have more players than you. And then I will win 1-0. So, yeah, it's a good pickup there. They'll be happy. That takes the sting out of the 3-0 loss for sure. Now let's take a look at the Outdoor Devils piling in here. 3 levels, Blitzer, Catcher, Catcher level. See what they go for. That's the Elf team. They take Sidestep. Great pickup. The Lineman was... No, that wasn't a level. Daggone. Taking Strip. I like to see it. I like to see it. More Strip Ball. It's better Strip Ball. Especially when you got 2 tackle already. And then the Pylon guy gets Juggernaut. Interesting. I think that's good. I would have also taken Juggernaut myself. A lot of people argue for Pro in that spot, but I think Juggernaut is really strong. So well played, well played. I like that. It's a good sign. I mean, this is quite a well built team. A lot of people would raise an eyebrow at diving catch, but then when you think about it, you realise that it's an Agi 3 catcher, so diving catch makes more sense. This is a really well built team. If you ask me how to build humans, I don't think I would have done much different here. Obviously, you'd hope the Ogre gets to guard firm, but apart from that, like, I think the main thing he's lacking is Blitzer guard. Like 2 blitzers is horrific, but that's not exactly something he can control. That's just the casualties. And that's the thing with human blitzers, right? Is that because they're your own guard, they tend to get in the way and line up and stuff. And when you don't get the ball, when you stick the blitzers in, they just get bodied by all the claw. So it tends to happen if you're not perfect with your sacks. But yeah, this is a strong team. This is a team that can take games off people quite easily. Next up, Vamps and Orcs. Where are we? Ooh, almost closed the music. Didn't want to do that. I think I've got to reopen this one. So yeah, we got the Vamp level. I assume this is just... I don't know what goes first. It hasn't taken it. Okay. And then the Orcs get a level on the Blodge Blitzer. Gets tackle. Nice, more tackle. I like to see it. Good stuff. And then finally we will check the admin game. No levels for Michaelis, but Michaelis, just to check the team, is looking like this right now. Everyone's back. And they're talking about how the inducement phase works, so I'll try and explain it if you haven't already read the explainer. So basically, your inducement phase is like, if you try and imagine it like tabletop, so you can only really start the inducement phase like once you've arrived at the table. You know, you can't pre-roster a dude. It's not like, sometimes in tabletop you can. Like if you're going to a tournament, you can roster a star player and roster a bribe, but not in an eternal format league. You can't really do that because you're playing so many games, right? So yeah, the 210. So currently, basically, you're like, let's check their game actually. Let's move it quickly onto the games, and we can see the inducement situation here. Where are they? They're playing the Vamps, right? So they're going to have 20 plus 210, so they're going to have 230 to play with, and you can buy that in the inducement phase. So you can't roster stuff in this league. There are leagues and tournaments where you can roster a star player or roster an inducement, but not in this league, sadly. Well, not sadly. Makes sense. But yeah. So yeah, fixtures. I will take a quick look at the fixtures so we can predict. Quick fire recap. It's good. There's not a lot to talk about. Everyone's just ticking along. Pyro and Noobster. Both teams beat up. I'm going to take Pyro. I think Noobster's going to really struggle. They're going to get a Wizard, but I think Pyro's out for revenge, I think. So I'm going to give that one to the High Elf team. For sure. Toasted for... Oh my god, Hogblast get double Necro. This time I think I am going to predict the Necro. I think Autosave's got a better team. But is it good enough to be Prime Undead? Maybe not. It's got the kill. That's the thing. It's got the kill. So it's gonna, you know, it's tough. Actually, I'm gonna give it to the Undead again. Sorry. Yeah, Undead. This Undead team is just too strong. Like Portesi's gonna have to play really well and just get some good dice to beat that team, I think. Next up, we got me versus Octo Chicken. They're gonna get a wizard against me or something stupid like that, I can tell. So I'm gonna predict Octo Chicken, because if you have this much elf and a wizard and you still lose to Nurgle, what are you doing? So yeah, I'm gonna predict Octo Chicken for that one. Then we got Bets versus Blood Splatter. Interesting game. I think Bets has the tackle to deal with this. I think it's going to be a human win. I think they've got 3 tackle, so that's just useful. They can cover the pitch. The humans are a natural counter to Skaven because they're just as quick and stronger. They just have better stats, so I got to give the humans that one. I don't think Blood Splatter's a good enough coach to overcome. Like if this was Superfed or like Toast Guy or Crystal Hunter, I might predict them here, but I don't know who Blood Splatter is. And their team is super beat up, and they also took Big Hand on a double. So yeah, I'm going to go with Bets most of the time here. Next up, we've got Orcs versus the Flings. So it's going to be a big day out for the Flings. It's going to be Deeproot Morgs taking the pitch. And let's check the guard count. It is 4 guard and a strength 5. So they might be able to actually fight this. They have a lot of tackle. They picked up tackle going into the Fling game. Could be a trap game for Mr. Gorky here. You'd think with so much money in inducement they can overcome the Orcs, but it's armor 9. They don't have a chainsaw, which is a big deal. Like, this is why halflings are worse than goblins. They don't get chainsaw access, which means that armor 9 teams are a real problem for them, because they can't get those claw fouls that because goblins basically get a free claw foul every turn and can also just do that with 1 player, whereas halflings will need to swarm a piece to get a good foul in, which exposes you in other places, unless it's like, you know, you knock a line orc over in front of your trees and then you foul from there. But that's not the piece you want to be fouling, right? If you want to foul someone good, you got to commit a lot to it, which is going to be a struggle. I think I am going to give it to the orcs here, sadly. But I think the orcs should take this down. They got the tackle, they got the strength. So yeah, that's my pick. Let's see, that's bye. And finally, the big boy matchup, 2k Chaos versus 2k Vamps. I'm going to give it to the Vamps because this is 2k Chaos that has 250 of it in a Mino, and that doesn't even have block or pro, and it's got 2 good warriors. You know, everyone talks about this Chaos team being a bit weird, but they have 2 good warriors, and it's just wide. They got a lot of block, which is good. The double niggled guys should probably get out of here, but don't hate it. I think it's difficult. This team has no tackle at all, so I don't know how on earth it's supposed to sack the edgy 6 Vamp. Like, it's impossible. So they're just going to play for kill and lose, is my prediction, unless they pitch clear, but they don't even have tackle, so they can't. So yeah, that wraps up the week. So let's take a look at the table here. We've got myself, flawless so far. I'm sure that's about to end. These elves are going to bully me, and then Super and Octo Chicken are the best of the rest at the moment, but look how tight it is, right? So second, 8 minus 6 is 2, so second to 13th is covered by 2 games, so it's still too close to call. Every single team is still in it. I think Blood Splatter and Bets wouldn't. Blood Splatter probably needs to get a couple of wins on the board to stay in contention, but it's 2 games. You know, it's a 12 game season, we're a third of the way through, everyone's still in it, it's tight, it's close. It's really actually very close. Let's check Stunty real quick. And Rideable Armor is now flawless with halflings like a madman. But look, he's in second place. Obviously it's a 3-way tie, but you've got the better TD diff, so good stuff. That Lizard 3-0 win is going to be huge for you, because how often do Stunty teams win 3-0? Hardly ever. So if you do find a points tie, which is rare, but it's really good. You basically have the lock on the tiebreaker now. It just shows how tough this competition is, right? Because I don't think that these halflings are going to win any divisional tickets, right? Hold on, let's go back. There's the problem with Division 4 is there's only 3 postseason tickets, and that's first, second, and third. And as much as I love these halflings, I think with these vamps, these wood elves, Potosis Necro, this undead team, and also to an extent my Nurgle is starting to come online, I don't think these halflings have enough to get into playoffs. I could be wrong, but I think over the course of the season, like the vamps are going to bully them. I'm probably going to bully them if I can get a claw hit on the trees. You know, it's just they're going to struggle. I feel like they've gotten their good results, but they've had good fixtures so far. I might be wrong. I haven't watched the games. But yeah, this is all of the competition, and literally you just need Llama to lose. So if we check, where are they? You can see the history here. Division 16, they're in Div 5. Oh god. Sites, Rebel, Rel, 5 Pi. This is the worst for them because where are the things? Oh, they're in GMAN, so that's what I know. So, Troller. Llama. See, look. They're going to be going into play-ins, which is really good for you. So basically how this... I assume you're new to the league, so this is a really important explainer. But also if you guys haven't heard. So what's going to happen with this halfling team is, if they carry on like this, they might end up in the play-ins. So they're going to play out... They played 4, they're going to play 3 more matches, and then if they're still doing really well, they'll be put into a play-ins group, which is going to be consisted of all of the first and second place teams across all the Div 5s. Will get put into 6 team play-ins divisions to fight for a playoff ticket. So he's going to be stuck in a div with 3 elves, an Amazon team, and an undead team. You know, that's what they're going to be stuck with. So they could have a really bad second half of the season. But what Llama could do is tank here. They could deliberately lose out the next 3 games to ensure they skip play-ins and then go into training grounds, which is where, you know, every other team in Div 5 goes. They'll be facing the 1300 Nurgle, the 1200 Chaos. You know, those are the teams they'll be fighting. So it's kind of out of Ogorki's hands here. It depends how Llama wants to play it, but if I was Llama, I would be tanking hard now to try and get into training grounds and then pick up both, because people in training grounds tend to leave the league as well, right? There's not a lot to play for. There's 1 Challengers Cup ticket. So if someone takes a death, they might just leave, which gives you a bye week, which is huge for a stunty team because it freezes your points per game because they don't count. So it's basically you've got less games to play. So as a stunty team, that's really good if you play less games, because the more games you play, the lower your win rate will be. A good coach can spark a 5 or 7 game winning run. But the more games you play, just over time, you have worse pieces. You will just lose more games. But yeah, that's a little stunty explainer for you there. So I don't know. It's just an idea for Mr. Gorky that you want to keep an eye on that table, just in the back of your mind, especially if you start finding draws instead of wins and can't get into playoffs here. You gotta start bountying. Speaking of bountying, let's go to the bounty board. I need to show this off as well. So if we go to filter by GMAN, no bounties in this division. So yeah, if you want to do anything like this, you've got login, allow, and we can now add a bounty of any player. So let's say GMAN division for, oh my god, this is so scuffed. We can't even put bounties on our guys, right? Everyone go yell at Major Bite and tell them to put bounties on for Div 4s, because we can't bounty anyone at the moment. That's sad. Anyway, well, on that note, that's it for the recap, guys. And I will catch you all next week. It's been a quick one, but it's good, you know, not just getting through. Giving everyone a little 2-minute time to shine, if that. It's all good. Right, I'll catch you on the flip side, guys. See you around. Bye.